Hi guys, this is lesson 3.9. I can make sense of remainders. Thomas has one 9-foot pine board. He needs to make 4-foot shelves for his books. How many shelves can he cut? From the question, I know that he has one board, and it is 9 feet long. Each shelf is going to be 4 feet long. So what the question is asking is how many shelves can he cut? So to solve the problem, I took 9 and I divided it by 4. I got 2 remainder 1. So he can cut 2 remainder 1 shelves. But does this make sense? What does remainder 1 shelf look like? Well, it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. So in this particular example, the remainder is not part of the question. We know that Thomas has enough pine board for 2 shelves. So watch out for questions where the remainder is not part of it. Let's look at another example. 9 students are going on a field trip. Parents have offered to drive. If each parent can drive 4 students, how many parents need to drive? So again, I have 9 students, and each parent can drive 4 students. So I need to divide 9 by 4. I got 2 remainder 1. The question is asking how many parents need to drive. So if I have 4 students in each car, then I would need 2 parents, remainder 1. Well, what does remainder 1 look like? I've never heard of a parent being a remainder 1 or a car being a remainder 1. So that makes no sense. That means we would have 1 kid not with a parent. In this case, I need to round up so that I have enough parents to drive all 9 students. In this case, I would say I need 3 parents to drive. So watch out for questions where you need to round up. All right, we're going to look at another example. One Monday, Kim brought 9 apples to school. She shared them equally among herself and 3 friends. How many apples did each person get? In this example, Kim brought 9 apples. So she started with 9 whole apples. Then she shared them among herself and 3 friends. So we have to include Kim plus the 3 friends, which gives me 4. So we have to take 9 and divide it by 4. We get 2 remainder 1. But does that make sense? Each person gets 2 remainder 1 apples. What does remainder 1 apple even look like? Well, we know that if she divides it up Each person will get 2 whole apples. But we have this remainder of 1. So that last apple is split among 4 friends. If I have 1 whole apple and I split it into 4 equal parts, then each friend will get 1 out of 4 parts, or 1/4. So in this case, our remainder really means 1/4. So each friend will get 2 1/4 apples. Let's look at another example. Raul bought 4 toy cars for $9. Each car cost the same amount. How much did each car cost? So Raul spent $9 in all. So that is our dividend. He bought 4 cars. So we're going to divide it by 4. When I do that, I get $2, remainder 1. So each car costs $2, remainder 1. Does that really make sense? If you are paying for something, how do you pay for it with remainder 1? That makes no sense. So we have to think about what this remainder 1 really means. That means each car costs $2, but we had 1 whole dollar left over. If we look at that dollar, we know 4 quarters, if each of these are a quarter, 4 quarters are going to make $1. Therefore, we can divide up each quarter to each car. So then each car will cost $2.25. So in this case, our remainder actually was a decimal. It was money. Nine students have signed up to run a relay race. If each relay team can have 4 runners, how many students cannot run in the race? So I know 9 students signed up to run. I know each team can have 4 runners. So I went ahead and divided 9 students by 4. So that tells me that we could have 2 relay teams, remainder 1. But the question says, how many students cannot run in the race? So it doesn't say how many can. It's cannot. So that changes things. So in this example, I know that we can have 2 relay teams. But we're going to have somebody left over not on a team. In this case, our remainder is the answer. We're going to have 1 student who cannot run in the race. So we could think of it like this. My circle is a relay team. I can have 4 runners on a team. So I have 9 students to divide up. So I could say 1, 2, 3, 4. Those 4 are on a team. 5, 6, 7, 8. Those 8 are on a team, or those 4. So I have 2 relay teams, but there's 9 students. So I have 1 person left, and that is our 1 student. That is our remainder that cannot run in the race. Today, you learned how to make sense of remainders.